So the first message that I am seeing here is they're saying realistic expectation. And I feel this is going to be playing out in the work sector, in your family planning sector. And realistic expectation basically means curbing our sense of illusions or delusions and trying to aim for a more practical route, a more practical solution based on where we are right now. It doesn't mean that, we have to let go of our dreams and our aspirations. It basically means maybe we're not there yet. It'll come later. But for now, let's focus on the here and now, looking at what's in front of you and narrowing your scope a little bit so that you're able to solve what's in front of you. And then later on, it's sort of like we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. Breaking up the work, breaking up the worries, breaking up the problems into more manageable pieces so that you can tackle them rather than letting them overwhelm you. Okay. So realistic expectations, realistic solutions. The second message here, it's actually really, really beautiful. They are saying loving companion. So you have a lot of love, a lot of family support, a lot of people in your midst that you can turn to, that you can, seek that emotional fulfillment from, and it give you a lot of emotional support. Friends are out there, people are out there. I feel though a lot of the times you are too proud to ask for help. Okay, you are, fire signs in general like to be independent. They don't like to weave a sob story and have other people feel sorry for them. So they're just saying here, there isn't any shame in asking for help. And especially if you've got such amazing people around you, it is really important to, ask for help. Okay. I feel like I feel like they will be more than happy to assist in any way they can. And I don't feel that you're abusing it or anything like that. So definitely ask for help if you can. The third message here, it's emotional maturation. And this is a really, really good message across the board for any sign that I read for. Emotional maturation is a process of seeing outside of ourselves, of seeing and anticipating what other people are dealing with, what other people need from us. Is there any way that we can alleviate the suffering, the emotional turmoil, the problems of other people? Okay, seeing outside of ourselves, kind of being a lot more considerate, a lot more thoughtful in assisting other people. And it's not just giving assistance, but it's sort of like putting our ego, our needs aside so that we can understand and be in the present moment and have this mutual understanding, this sympathy and empathy and mutual rapport with another human being. So I feel like there's a lot to be said here with that message alone, okay? And I'm going to go back to it. The last message here, nickel and dime. So I feel like financially there's something going on with you guys, and I have been feeling this for the past few months. So we're going to unpack that, and we're going to talk about, ways in which you can start to rebuild this financial foundation. So what I have here, realistic expectation, first message. This is showing up in your family planning sector, okay? And what I feel here is there is a need here to kind of consult your partner. I feel like for many of you, you're a little bit extravagant when it comes to spending, when it comes to buying things, when it comes to splurging. It's like you're quite lenient with yourself when it comes to spending, okay? And you have somebody that's kind of like controlling the purse strings. It could be a relationship partner. It could be a housemate, a flatmate. It could also be like whoever it is that, you're sharing resources with. And so there's a sense here of needing to consult the other person before you make big purchases, before you do major decisions. And I'm also feeling at this point there is a need to want to add additional member into the household, such as getting pregnant, family planning. adopting a dog, adopting a baby, taking in elderly parents is what I'm sensing. And these elderly parents can be overseas as well. So I feel like there's this discussion, this conversation about um, getting more people into the household, or the household is getting a little bit too crowded. So why don't we leave the household and seek our own space, seek a bigger housing environment, or purchase a property outright? So I feel like there's some fluctuation here within the home, but either way, it points towards expansion. It points towards something bigger, something better. Okay. And so financially, whenever we want to move to a house, or whenever we want to bring another person into our household, we want the best conditions. And I feel like with you guys, family means so much to you. There's such a huge influence in your life, and you want to do it big. You want to do it justice. You want to do them justice. And so you tend to be quite generous with the way in which you want to, give them that financial resources, or you want to do it big. And I feel like the other person that you're sharing resources with, they're trying to tell you to curb your spending. They're trying to tell you to be conservative, and they're trying to tell you more than anything to be realistic. And I feel like the past few months, since the November timeframe, many of you had to cut corners, you had to skimp, and you didn't like that. You didn't want to have to do those things. And so it's gotten to the point where you're actually sitting down and you're going to have to, be very realistic here. First of all, with the spending. Second of all, how much am I making right now? How much am I spending? So, the financial inflow versus the financial outflow, trying to balance that out and trying to not succumb to emotional spending. Okay. In the career sector as well, what I do feel is many of you are working in a capacity where you're doing a lot of consultation. So I feel some of you are like, I see some people coming to you and they're like, what do you mean by this sentence? What do you mean by this paragraph? What do you mean by this idea? Can you elaborate? They're giving you something, you revise it, and you submit it to them. So this can be a manuscript. This can be a transcript. This can be like an essay, a piece of artwork. You're working on a consultancy basis, and you're working on a project basis. And so the financial inflow might not be, consistent. It doesn't feel to me like a regular 9 to 5 work. It seems to me like contract work. It seems to me like you're getting paid on a contract basis. But either way, I feel like you enjoy the work that you do. You're getting positive recognition. And I feel many of you are at a point where your career is just, just starting to take off. And in about 10 months time, it's going to take off. It's like you're preparing things right now. Right now where you are, it's a little bit of a launching pad, okay? Like a stepping stone. You're taking these minute steps, and then you're going to take off. But I do feel it's going to be in about 10 months time before you finally make it, before you finally launch, before you finally start to make the type of money that you're hoping for. So right now, be conservative, be realistic, and have these realistic expectations, okay? The whole process about skimping, it's not fun. It's definitely not fun when we have to really watch what we're doing, and we have to be, really conscious of it. I'm also sensing many of you are in the public eye for whatever reason. And a lot of Leos actually are politicians, are great teachers as well, orators, lecturers, and things like that. So I'm not surprised that you're in the public eye and you have really strong, charisma and stage presence. So if you are in the public eye, you're also being extra careful about what you're doing and how you're being perceived, and how other people, how you are portrayed in through even social media, even through, newsprint. So I feel like you're trying to curate this persona so that you can, maintain that good role model persona, so that you can, be a positive influence for other people. So I feel like a little bit of management when it comes to how you portray yourself, how you want other people to portray you or to think of you. Okay, so a little bit of like reputation management. Not in a bad way at all, but I definitely feel you're erring on the side of caution when it comes to your image, when it comes to your spending, and when it comes to being very realistic about what is expected of you, what you can and cannot do, and being very honest about, I want to say, portraying that to other people. Second message, loving, they're saying as well, loving partner, but they say the first message is loving companion. In partnerships though, I feel like many of you are blessed with a very, very emotionally stable partner. And what's really interesting to me is, a lot of the times, so Leo, to me, the sign of Leo, it's very dramatic. Okay, it's a fire sign, but it's also ruled by the sun. And I feel like, you thrive in the spotlight, and you guys would make, you and Libras are great, 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 great actors. You like to, stand up for your beliefs and stand up for the underdog, and really, you're quite militant when it comes to the things that you believe in, your ideologies, your sense of justice, and your sense of right and wrong, and your moral compass. You're very, very, very apt about defending what you feel is right. Okay, but I also feel like there is a sense of spectacle and drama associated with the things that you like to do. You like high intensity. And so naturally, I see a lot of Leo people naturally attracted to a partner that is a little bit milder, a little bit more distant, a little bit more emotionally controlled. And I feel like you're naturally drawn to these people because of differences. But you're also drawn to them because I feel like they make you feel stable when you're interacting with them. They calm you down. They help to really, really mellow you out. And because they're so calm and so cool and collected, they're naturally drawn to your energy. They're naturally drawn to that sense of drama and passion. And there's just immense chemistry. So you have a partner here that is very, very like, it's like a calm lake. Okay, someone who's really, 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 really calm, and they're great under pressure, and they never act out of character. They never break that facade, which I think is really admirable. So you have a partner here that is kind of someone who's like, I don't want to say indulging you, because that sounds so patronizing, but I don't feel like it has any negative connotation. So for example, I see you guys excitedly, coming home, and you have this latest project, this latest idea that you want to implement, and you're like, talking a mile a minute, excitedly gesturing and telling your partner about everything that you experience and what you're planning to do. And I see your partner sitting there kind of smiling with a little bit of a smirk, because they're amused. They're amused by how excitable you can get. They're amused by how passionate you can be. And they're amused by how, totally immersed you are when you are passionate about something. I feel like that's why they're really, really drawn towards you guys. And you know how when you watch children, when they're really, really immersed in something, they're like so happy. They're just so pure, and just all you see is this ball of joy. And that's what it feels like to your partner when they're observing you do something. They're just amazed by how, I want to say single-minded you can be when you are really, really passionate about something. And so you've got a partner that is really emotionally supportive. You've got a partner that is, it's like they're willing to go above and beyond just to capture that moment, just to, sustain or recreate or to maintain that moment so that you can be so happy. Okay, like they love seeing that in you, and they're willing to jump through hoops to make it happen, just to realize your dreams, just to make you constantly that happy. For many of you, I feel here you have a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is a person that is really, really, really grounded. They love you, they support you, and they don't feel threatened at all by your achievement. So, needless to say, I just feel like a good partner should never feel threatened. A good partner should always emotionally support us from behind the scenes if they need to, okay? But some couples, it's really difficult for them to share the spotlight. But I feel with your relationship partner, you've got somebody that is really, really, really willing to get their hands dirty, willing to make it through with you, willing to, go through thick and thin with you. So you've got somebody who is really amazing by your side. For others of you, I feel here an earth sign, okay? So a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And I'm sensing so if it's an earth sign, the tendency is like this. You give them all these ideas, and rather than just being quiet, they're going to say okay, you can do this, but you're going to need to change these things. So it feels a little bit like they're poking holes in your theory, and you're going to feel like, but this is just the preliminary stages. I'm just thinking about this right now, and this is not the final product. And so you're getting a little bit defensive. But this person, the way that earth signs operate, they show they care by listening to you and giving feedback. That's just the way they are programmed, and that's just the way they operate. And they're not like the water sign where they can sit there and, support you from behind the scenes or, do anything that you help them. But the earth signs, if you need their help, 100% they will be there, even if they don't agree with you, even if they feel like this is like a pipe dream, it's never going to come together. If you need their help, and if they can be of assistance in any way, they're going to be there. They're going to be the one passing out the flyers. They're going to be, up at 3 a.m. with you, drawing, making posters, painting murals, and things like that. So people show their love in different ways. People show their support in different ways. And so just because one person is listening and they're not doing the actions like the water sign, doesn't mean they don't love you. And just because, the other person is poking holes in your theory, like the earth sign, they're a little bit more critical, and they need to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, just because they care. That's just the way they care. It doesn't really diminish the love and the support, okay? And honestly, if these two people or two signs didn't care, they wouldn't be around, okay? So I feel like you might be doubting it, or you might be going through a situation where you're frustrated. And we get frustrated with our partners all the time. But during Mercury in retrograde, the energy is really volatile. So it is important for us to really put ourselves in other people's shoes, and especially learn to put ourselves in our loved ones' shoes and see how they feel about us, and see how they're trying to show they care through the ways that they can support you, or the things that they can help you with, okay? So I feel like you've got someone who's really loving by your side. companionship as well, friendship, family, relationships. You guys have a lot of support. I do see this unconditional love coming from siblings. So for those of you who are fortunate enough to have siblings, there's this outpouring of love. They're babysitting you, they're watching the kids, they're cooking for the kids, they're taking the nieces and the nephews out while you're studying, while you're taking exams, while you're working overtime. So props to those siblings, okay? I feel like the relationship, the sibling relationship, there is so much love here, and I feel like it's gonna make you, it's just going to give you that sense of appreciation that somebody is willing to, go above and beyond to assist you. So you've got a lot of support coming in this month, Leo. There is no reason for you to feel isolated and to feel like, oh, they don't really love me, I'm going to wait for them to reach out. Don't get into that habit of only seeing things from your point of view and not accepting the way that other people show they love you, okay? Third message here, emotional maturation. So the emotional maturation message goes hand in hand with everything that I talked about before, the two messages that comes before.